Hello. I'm going to work today uh, going through the process of the dungeon raids that I've been playing. So, a couple of things. Um, I'm using Psalm, and I'm using the core rulebook and this supplement called Dungeons and Death. And it's really cool because it has a dungeon generator. So yeah, endless dungeons. So I've been using these rules, and they're pretty good. And yeah, so I like that. Um, I've done a couple of raids already, and my guys are having fun. And yeah, so we've been exploring and getting some XP. Right now, I'm in 23 XP and 36 gold. I won't go and buy things now. I'm just going to. The only thing I'm gonna do is buy an antidote because one of my guys is poisoned. I don't know if everything, uh, like, if like conditions go back to normal, but once you finish a campaign or like a scenario, I'm just gonna buy one antidote and have it ready. And that antidote will be in the hands of um, I think it's gonna be with Wago. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna buy one antidote just to have because there's poison in the dungeons. Okay, so what I do is that um, I I'll just add tokens to the sheet this side. So I have a sheet here with the characters. So I add tokens. I add these tokens and dice just to keep track of things. And then I have my dungeon tiles here that I pull out randomly. And then, yeah. So let's start that. So just what I've been trying to use is trying to use some of this material. So just to add a little bit of context. So let's try that real quick. And it's pretty cool because there's a lot of good things we can use from this book, which is the Tome of Adventure Design. And they have a section on dungeons. So what I've been doing is that I try to like find some interesting tables. And we're gonna do a dungeon raid. So I just keep track of things here. I'll do dungeon raid 3. Every raid I want to give like a little bit of a backstory. And so we're just gonna roll a couple of things here. Where is it? So it's like around this area. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, backstories. So we can do item based backstory or person backstory. The first one I did was item based backstory. So it's 29. So it says inhabitants mentally altered. Okay. It's gonna be backstory. So within this dungeon, like the inhabitants were affected some way, mentally. The reason why, that's 63, in connection to the discovery of valuable substances. To of valuable Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. So that's just it gives us a little bit of a flair for what's going on within that dungeon. And yeah, it just helps a little bit. Maybe there's a situation we can find the substance and do some checks or something like that. So yeah, so I just try to use this tome as I dive into other, like, do different dungeon raids. So we can even roll for the substance. Like, there's a table to create the substance, but I'm not going to go into that. And then, so the first thing I do, I just pull in, like, I take one of these random tiles. So we'll do it like this. I'm just going to do it this way. And then I just place it around here. So. And I'm going to get the camera a little bit closer so you can see. From this point on, we just go in and roll our dice. So essentially we just got into the dungeon, party is ready, and this is the first room we're going to explore. We're going to see what's inside that room, and that's a 3. In the 3, it's a monster. The booklet mentions that there's only 1 monster per encounter. I found it not to be too challenging unless you do like a really large dungeon. Maybe that's the intention. But since I don't have too much space and I just kind of like explore room by room, I just roll for a random number of skeletons, and I use a d6. So we'll use a d6, so that's 6 skeletons. So I'm just going to place them randomly, see if we can fight them all or we'll die. I'm just going to add a couple of archers. So it's a max number of skeletons we can have. So yeah, let's see how that goes. So we're gonna try to start attacking. I'm gonna move one of my party members first, Wago, the fighter. And in this game you do attack and counter-attack. So the idea here is that we're just gonna fight and see what happens. So just gonna roll somewhere around. Yeah, just gonna roll here. So that's two hits, and then both of them will do damage. So both the skeleton and Wago. So Wago is fighting against this skeleton here. Yeah. So it's a 5 and a 4. So the skeleton has an armor of 1 and Wago has armor of 2. So Wago gets 2 damage. And then I'm just keeping track here with the dice. And then the skeleton gets a damage of 4 because he has armor of 1. I'm just gonna put 1 die here. And we're gonna move another guy here. And then we're just gonna try to see if we can take out one of these skeletons. So he has a spear. He has he can do 2 inches. But since the skeleton also has a spear, so I think he can counterattack. So we're just gonna do that. So the skeleton missed his attack, but Eliax did actually hit. So we rolled to the hit. So that's a 6. So the skeleton is down. So it's 6 minus 1 of his armor. It's 5. He has 4 HP, so he's down. And what I do is that I just place one of these tokens so that it just tells me that there's a organ to be harvested. We're gonna move in with Andy here. We're gonna see if we can fight this archer skeleton. Just gonna put him here. Yep, and then we're gonna roll, see. So Andy hits with a 13 and the skeleton misses. So he has 4, and that's 4 minus 1, it's 3. So that lives, he has 3 HP left. So skeletons have 6 HP in 1 armor. Now we're gonna move our archer Rain. and shoot at the same skeleton. So it's this skeleton here. And then that's a 15. And then 15, how much damage? So it's a 4. 4 minus 1, 3, and 3 HP. So this skeleton is out. So we're doing pretty good right now. And Rain only has 6 arrows left. So I forgot to buy him some arrows before we started the raid, but I think we'll manage. I'm just gonna get this area clear and see if we can get another one, and we'll call it a day. So then we got Pew, the Pew, our caster, and he has a spell called Mind Blast, which dazes me. It just kind of like removes inaction from one of the skeletons. So I'm just gonna use this guy and cast his scroll against the archer skeleton. So that's a 6, so he fails. Okay, so all my guys already went. Now it's time for the monsters or the skeletons to fight. And the book tells you to go randomly, but I mean, really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna move this skeleton. He'll fight against Eliax. And skeleton got a 17, and Eliax a 6, so skeleton does his damage. So it's 6 damage, so it's pretty bad. So 6 minus 1 is 5. And Eliax has 8 HP, so it means that he has 3 left. So that's pretty bad. Then this next skeleton will go in and fight against Wago. So they both hit. Wago has a strength of 2, and he's using his sword, but that's modified by his strength, so he has 12. And then the skeleton hits on a 15. So yeah, so 2 hits, both hit. Let's see, damage. And Wago doesn't do any damage, and the skeleton does 5. So that means that it's 5 minus 2 of his armor, and that's 3. So Wago already had 8 HP. 8 minus 4, so it's 4 HP. Okay. Now, let's see. So we're gonna shoot the arrow against Andy. So this guy against Andy. And then he just does his shot, so that's a 17. And the skeleton hits with a 3. That means that Andy is reduced to 8 HP. Andy only has 1 armor. 8 HP. And then, yeah, so we keep on moving. And then this final skeleton, I think he'll go against Andy. He's just cleared. Okay, and then they'll do attack and counter attack. So the skeleton hits and Andy misses. He fails. So yeah, let's see the hit for the skeleton. That's a 5. So 5, it's minus 1, so it's 4 damage. And it goes down to 4 HP. So we did a pretty good fight here. But the skeletons counter pretty bad. Like their counter was fairly good, and so yeah, so we're kind of like being met by all of these skeletons just at the entrance of the dungeon, and it's looking interesting. I don't know if we might need to do something with Eliax because he's pretty low. And everybody got, punished, but we did got 2 skeletons. So I don't know. We might have to retreat at some point. Should we fight? We haven't done any other damage to the other skeletons. So these 3 guys are engaged. So we're gonna use Rain to shoot at. We're gonna move him out of the way. and try to shoot at this archer here. And then just do the shoot. And then, so that's a 10 plus 2, so that's a 12, so he hits. So let's see, much damage. So it's a 5. 5 minus 1, 4. 4 damage. So the skeleton has 2 left. Okay. So that's good. Rain only has 5 arrows left, but he does have a sword, so we should be good. Let's see. Now we'll fight with... Let's just use Andy and see if we can get that skeleton. So both hit. We'll roll for both of the damage. So Andy does... Oh no, I think Andy's dead. Andy does 1 damage. So that keeps the skeleton in 5. But the skeleton did 6. 6 minus 1, it's 5. And Andy already had 4 HP, so that means he is down. So Andy got beaten by a skeleton. So this raid is not looking good. The rules do state that that if you die, you die in this dungeon. And okay, so I think we should just maybe retreat. Let's try to see if we can retreat and take our losses. So how do we do this? We'll just try to disengage. So we'll make sure that these guys already are out. So we just need to disengage on these 2 guys. So we're gonna go for Wago first, and you need to pass. So the skeleton is engaging Wago, so that means that the skeleton needs to roll an agility, test. And if he fails, I can't escape. So he rolls a 3, that means that I can't escape. And then Eliax is going to roll again. So let's see if the skeleton... Yeah, so he fails again, the skeleton, so Eliax escapes as well. So yeah, that was a hasty retreat, and it was pretty anticlimactic, but we did win some experience, and one of our guys died. But before we finish here, I'm just going to finish and I'm going to write down what happened. 3 XP plus 23. And we have 26 XP. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened now. So it was a pretty bad raid. Sometimes, like, I still have to adjust maybe how many skeletons or how many monsters. Yeah, but I think for every room or area explored, there should be more than 1 skeleton for sure. Maybe a D4 would be better. But in this case, yeah, it's just it was just a big mess essentially. There were too many skeletons, and we're just getting beaten, and it was gonna be too costly to save the rest of them. We might have lost more warband members, but yeah, we'll make it through next time. So yeah, I just wanted to record this to show you a little bit of this system, and I really like it. I've been playing it a lot lately, and I like to do this type of scenarios. Just set some backstory to a dungeon and do the dungeon raids, try to collect treasure and try to get out. And yeah, I've been progressing a little bit with these guys, getting some XP. I'll probably try to do something similar with other rules. I have more dungeon tiles on the way, and I have some more miniatures on the way, so we'll see if we can do better dungeon raids. And yeah, so I'm also learning how to, do the camp, like record them and kind of like narrate them, so it'll be interesting. Okay, thanks for watching.